Hello there, Rochelle here for Dreaming English, and today I am going to tell you about the origin of the phrase an arm and a leg. So often people think that the phrase an arm and a leg came out of the time when people were painting, So they were painting a picture that would include either the whole body, meaning the arms and the head and the body and the legs, right? They would be painting a picture. So they would be painting a portrait that included the person's head, their head, and their shoulders, or they were painting a portrait of the whole person. And if they were painting a picture of just the head and the shoulders, like the portrait, that would cost less money. And if they were painting a portrait of the whole body, it would cost more money to paint the whole body. But this was not true. This is not true. If you commissioned a painter to paint your whole body or just your portrait, it was the same. The painters charged more depending on the size. So if it was a small painting, they would charge more money depending if it was a bigger painting, and they would charge less money if it was smaller. So where did this phrase come from? It actually originated after World War II, when many newspapers it was being reported that soldiers were coming back after the war, and they had come back from the war and they had lost an arm, or they sadly lost a leg. And so it was kind of thought of as the very heavy cost of serving in the war was the result of losing the arm or the leg. That was the heavy cost, and that's why an arm and a leg became thought of as something that cost a lot of money. Like, I'm going to buy this television and it's going to cost me an arm, and this television is going to cost me an arm and a leg. It's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. It's going to cost me a lot of money. And one of the earliest things that have been seen in print in newspapers was in 1945, when a food editor wrote 10 ideas that would save you money and not cost you an arm and a leg. A more likely expression of where this expression came from would be from the 19th century, earlier phrase, when the phrase, I would give my right arm for. The most earliest example of this seen in print was from 1849, when the Sharp's London Journal wrote, he felt as if he would gladly give his right arm to be cut off, if it would make him at once able to earn enough money. Yet another example was found in the Burlington Daily Hawkeye, and that was in July of 1875, and it read, a man who owes five years for a subscription to the Gazette is trying to stop his paper without paying, and the editor is trying to grab back that pay if it takes a leg. Two similar examples can be found, one in France, where it said, and this is the translation, it costs an eye from the head, and the other from Bulgaria, where it said it costs one's mother, and one's father. I have a question for you. Do you have any examples that have do you have such an example of it cost an arm and a leg in your language? Do you have any examples of things costing an eye or something like that? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like our video, please be sure to subscribe. If you also know of anyone who is trying to learn English, if you could share the video with them, we would love that. We want to reach more and more people around the world.